Welcome back, folks. ePropulsion TEC week has arrived, and I'm going to tell you what, we have saved the best for last. So make sure taking like, comment along through here when we take and bring in our guest tonight. But first, and y'all going to have to forgive me, I'm having laptop problems, so I'm having to look up constantly. So if y'all are wondering why exactly I'm looking up, that's why. So I would like to thank first our Hooked Up Live sponsors, G2 Gemini jerseys. If you've seen in the very beginning, all you have to do is get over there to their website, put in your order, and receive up to 25% off of any order through for G2 Gemini jerseys. Just enter in the code G2 Georgia spelled out 21. You'll receive 25% off. Get your jersey. It's definitely hot and you need it right now. Line Taming Serum. Get over there and check them out on Facebook. They have got some awesome product line that helps keep memory coil down on your rods. What about y'all having to replace line constantly? Gets a little aggravating. So get over and check out Line Taming Serum. Their product that they have is amazing to helping out that line memory coil. So they also have a lot of other additives that you can add for your soft plastics and different scents and stuff like that. So get over and check them out on Facebook. Tell them we sent you. Guarantee you won't be dissatisfied with their products. We have Lithium Pros, the one battery that you need. Get over there to their website as well as to Facebook. Check them out. Make sure to let them know that the folks here at ePropulsion TEC sent you over there. They will make sure to hook you up with the one battery that you need for lithium batteries. It's very, very important. I know that as far as those weight reduction and the tournaments that we fish means a lot to helping us out. The Dugout Bait and Tackle. Get down there and check them out, Marietta. I know they would be glad to see you down there. If you're in the market also wanting to buy a kayak, they have got a full row of kayaks down there, and they do full customizations to kayaks. So if you don't want to take a mess with taking and getting your kayak all tricked out with all the different bells and whistles, they'll hook you up. Get down there, check out their bait. They have live bait down there if you're interested in it, wanting to go do some fishing with the kids. If you're wanting to go do some artificial lures, they've got it wall-to-wall, rods and reels. Get down there and check them out. Make sure to let them know that the folks at ePropulsion TEC sent you down there. We appreciate their sponsorship through our Hooked Up Lives. We'll be giving away a free hat for the Dugout Bait and Tackle. So make sure, comment, like it. That's the way you take and get entered in for the drawing. Nate's Custom Boats and Accessories. He has got some awesome product line as far as the lids, full customizations, trays, you name it. If it's on a Jon boat, Nate can make it. It is amazing products to what he puts out there. Get up there, check them out. We'll be giving away gift certificate for Nate's Custom Boats. Anybody's needing some lids or some trays, it'll definitely help you out with your purchases. So like us, leave us a comment. That's where you get entered into it. Just click the wrong button. Sorry, folks. Star Lures. Check them out on Facebook. Look them up, Star Lures. They make all sorts of plastics. I even seen a picture the other day of a lure that I hadn't seen that color in plastics in a very long time. Brought back memory. So I'm actually going to get my order in soon to purchase that color. Any color you got that you want that maybe they've quit making, get over and check them out, Star Lures. They've got all different types of plastic worms, crawl baits, different types of things. I guarantee you, John, if he can't take in, he'll get it figured out one way or the other. He always gets them colors matched up and looking good. So we appreciate their sponsorship through our Hooked Up Lives. So with no further ado, we have half reigning TEC champion, Taylor Smith, but the better half, Patricia, soon to be Smith. So congrats for qualifying both of y'all into the TEC coming up. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, thank you. We're ready.
Okay. I was just making sure there for a minute that you was able to hear me. So I'm going to go through here throughout the show, just like I mentioned. We're going to take and interact, having comments and stuff like that from everyone else. It's already coming through here. Mason Williams said congratulations to Taylor on the engagement. Chris Gayton, Real Deal Gayton, saying Netman and the Hammer.
He's not so, which is which. So.
I know. Go ahead.
We know what he means. Just tell him keep it up. Keep talking that trash.
I know exactly who the Hammer is and who the Netman is. I definitely do. Definitely do. So let's go through. Y'all had an amazing season. Y'all are competing in the electrical elites, correct?
Correct. Yep, we are third in the points right now. So, one more tournament this month, and then Bass-TEC.
Coming down to the end of the wire, you know, it's tough. That's a different group of people to fish with. I'll tell you that much. You know, but it is what it is. We're happy to be where we're at. I think our main goal when we got, you know, invited to go fish with them was to maybe possibly win one tournament and try to finish top 5 in points. You know, to us, that's an accomplishment against, you know, all those guys. And considering we've won one, we finished third, and we were tied for first at one point. Now we're sitting in third. I mean, the biggest thing is Chris Gayton is nowhere near us. He's way down the list. That's really only all that matters now. So, but yeah, no, it's been fun. It's stressful, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different world fishing with this group of guys.
So tell me if I'm right. You also fish Patricia uniquely. You fish a one-man series or one woman series.
Yeah, I'm fishing the West Georgia Solo Tournament Series this year. And we've got, I think, still 3 or 4 more tournaments to go. We're 4 tournaments in.
Yeah, David started that. I think he started it last year. He may be on here and correct me, but I'm pretty sure he started last year, just kind of here and there. But this year, he wanted to have a full points, you know, trail. And from what we've said, I think he expected to have, you know, 5, 8, maybe 10 boats. Well, it's been, I mean, every tournament's been 10, 12. He had people beating down the door to get in a couple of tournaments. He was having to turn people away. So he's got a long ways to go, but he's doing something really, really good. It seems to be really enjoyable. But he wasn't prepared, I don't think, for the amount of you know, people that are going to be interested in it. So it's really good. He's doing a great job at it, best he can. So far, so good on that solo trail.
Yeah, it's been a really fun trail. We only fish on Sundays, 5 hours, 3 fish. It's just been fun.
So I'm curious on something. Taylor, are you planning on getting you a boat to compete against your better half?
So we actually have another boat. Art Ragsdale, the owner of Ragsdale Heat and Air, donated to us, and I told him it would be for her for a solo trail. So that build will be coming down the pipe at some point. It's been so crazy lately and so much stuff going on that we haven't had time to touch it. We hooked up to it. We brought it home. It's like, that'll be an awesome solo build. It's been sitting there ever since. So it'll happen one way or the other. But yeah, they'll probably be too. But I told her she keeps talking all that smack and whooping up on all them guys that I'm finna come show her something.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Might as well break another Smith.
Yeah, so my younger brother was like, "Oh, if she's whooping all them guys, I need to come fish too." He went and fished. He did win one. He did really good in one of the tournaments. But
the first one he came to was Ackworth, and
yeah, he got whooped.
I beat him and got big fish.
Yes. It's a good deal. What David's got going on, if he keeps it up, it really could be big, really big. So like I said, he's doing a great job and got a good thing going.
Yeah. So Mr. Drake saying that Taylor knows that he's the net man.
I told her the same thing that I told Dusty. As long as they go in that net and they go in that live well, I don't care who catches.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So you brought up something I was talking with you the other day, Taylor, that I thought was very, very unique. I mean, most couples don't really, meet the way that y'all two did. As far as the way you kind of explained it, if you don't mind kind of maybe diving in as far as your better half. I think I did not download the picture. Oh my goodness, I did forget to do that. But go ahead and tell me about how y'all two kind of hit it off.
I mean, we did meet kind of sort of fishing. It was different time and different circumstances then, but that's how we originally met. And between some life-changing events for both of us, we ended up here. But all in all, I think it worked out the best for both of us. And obviously it worked out the best for both of us. So yeah, I couldn't be happier, and obviously she couldn't either. So as long as she keeps catching the big fish, we don't have a problem.
No pressure.
As long as she keeps catching them. So that day that y'all kind of, was it y'all's first date you mentioned about Rocky or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, so kind of the reason that I decided to propose at Rocky was because that's when we first started dating. I mean, we had seen each other a few times prior to that, but that's, when I actually asked her to be
Yeah, I had to bring that out. I did.
Hey, you want to tell you the best part of that whole picture?
Yeah.
It's Scott Edwards. In there. Every picture we have from that entire ordeal is Scott looking just like that.
So if we go out there on the lake, Scott's probably sitting in a boat with a phone in his hand, ready.
He knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. Chris knew it was coming, and Danny and Josh. Obviously, I'd been talking with them and dealing with them and set the whole thing up. So, it was pretty funny.
So I try to respect everybody's privacy. I don't mean to pry too much on this, but I assume that's your daughter there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's Morgan.
That is awesome that everybody got involved to be in there. So.
Spent many a day sleeping in the bottom of that boat at Rocky Mountain. Many days.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, like, as long as I've been Jon boat fishing, I don't believe that I have ever heard of that's really ever happened. So y'all definitely are living a very precious life together. I guess you could really say that like that, to be able to share the same passion.
Oh yeah, and it even goes outside of fishing. We dove hunt, we turkey hunt, we deer hunt, all of it we do together. So
yeah, but there's not a whole lot we don't do together. But I think the whole deal was, that's kind of where I was going earlier when we got sidetracked. But the whole deal with the Rocky Mountain is that's where we started dating, and I guess the day after we went to the lake, and it's like I told you earlier. It's the only time that I've ever been on Rocky Mountain PFA. We were there for 6 hours, as long as we could make it. And there was not one single boat on either lake. In 6 hours, we did not see one boat, one kayak. We saw one truck go through the parking lot, and there's a game warden. They definitely weren't getting out in that mess to come check us. But
it was freezing cold, raining.
Yeah, raining, 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. And I figured she was thinking, what the heck have I got myself into? But I mean, we caught 3 7-pounders that day, and one of them was her PB, which was 7.2. So that was a big memory, considering that's where we started dating. And her PB came on, her first, big PB came on that lake. And then she went back. Well, no, we went back and won the Xtremes tournament out there. She went back and won her solo tournament out there and didn't even realize it, but she caught a 7.4 or 7.5. I think it was ended up being an ounces, which was her second PB on Rocky Mountain in the tournament she won. She had 14.85 with 3 fish. And then we went back and that one.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was it.
Yeah. So
curiosity, was this photo pre-fishing for it?
Yeah.
That was her. Well, actually, I guess that was her third PB. That was actually pre-fishing for the Elite Series tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was after my solo win.
So curious, how many PBs have you had this year, Patricia?
Well,
I think 2.
She's had 2 PBs this year and 1 last year. She had a 7.2, which is when we started dating. She had a 7.4 in her solo tournament, and that was an 8.9 pre-fishing for the Elite Truck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a sick looking fish. I mean, it really, everything about that thing's just tank.
Well, yeah, and I was down the bottom of the boat. It was tough that day. I mean, I think we caught like 3 or 4 fish all day pre-fishing, and I was down the bottom of the boat re-rigging something, and she was like, I forget what I think you said I got one. I was
no. That's when you told me, let's go do it. You were re-rigging. I got up front, and he was like, let's go over here. I said, hold on, I'm doing something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she said, hold on, I'm doing something. And by the time I heard, and I was like, she was like, yeah, big. So anyway, she got it up, and she took over Panoptics.
Kid booted you to the back of the boat.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
those fish are built different.
Patricia, curiosity. So before getting involved in the tournament side of things, which let me ask this, did you grow up tournament fishing?
No. Tournament fishing is kind of something that's new to me in the last 2 years. But I grew up fishing and everything outdoors. So, I think the love was already there, but the tournament fishing has just expanded that into a whole new ball game.
That is awesome. That is. So, talk about PBs. You broke quite a few PBs. Hopefully, you haven't crested the 10-pound range yet, have you?
I haven't. Taylor has. I've netted one over 10 pounds.
And correct me if I'm right, Taylor, this was the photo of that 11?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, 11.15, and that sack went 24.5.
Which I couldn't find the other picture. If I remember right, I think I've seen another one that was floating around at one time. That picture, in my opinion, doesn't do it justice to how big it was.
There's not any picture out there that does it justice.
I mean, we took so many photos of that fish, and when you get home and look at them, you're like, it's not even close. She was 19 3/4 around and 25 inches long. I mean, full blown tank.
Well, one of the things that stands out the most, if you look, and I'm not a biologist and I don't know the terminology what it's called, but I'm just going to say it right there at the anal fin. Look at just look at the difference in the others fin right there. Just how much. I mean, it's everything so much larger. Just you can tell it's a tank.
It was insane. There's no picture that'll ever do it justice. But we do have the measurements. We are going to get a replica done, so that'll be neat to have, and just to see it again, probably in its form, we'll be like, wow, like.
Oh yeah.
Forget how big it is until you see it again.
A guy today showed me 2 fish he had on the wall. We got talking about fishing, and he said that one right there was just right at 9 pounds. And I looked at it, I was like, holy cow! And he said that one was about 6. Got another one below is about 6 pounds. You know, a 6 pounder looked like a 5 or 6 pounder, and the 9 pounder just looked like a giant. I was like, holy cow! I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know how we fished the rest of the day because I caught her at like 8:45, and she bit twice. The bad thing was it was so windy that day that the first time I kept like checking, and finally I was like, I swear I've got a fish. And when I pulled the last time, I was like, oh yeah, no, I definitely have one. So I swung, and it was just air. There's nothing there. And I literally just looked back over there with Panoptics, threw right back in the exact same place I threw the first time. So I pulled like 2 times or something, and I was like, okay, she's got it again. I set the hook. Well, I went from, well, I've hooked a stick or a brush pile to, oh, maybe it's a catfish. And I was like, all right, let me check. So I reeled up and just pulled real hard one time and waited for it to roll or flop or something, and it never did. And I was like, no, maybe this is a big bass. But I had no idea it was that big.
Yeah, so Mr. Drake saying I had to weigh the 11 pounder, and it was almost unreal looking.
Yeah, we had to separate the bag because the scale wouldn't register.
We had to weigh them separate. The scale wasn't set to weigh anything over like 22 or 24 pounds or something. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, we had to separate it because he set it on there and just zero out. It wouldn't do anything.
We've ran into that problem 2 times in SWAT where we've had to, and it was on one particular lake, multiple times where we had to literally separate the fish out and weigh them individually just so that way we could get a weight.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I ain't had that yet. So Dusty was saying, Taylor, I assume you had to call them. You was about to lose it.
Yeah, they were right across the lake from us, and I called him. I was like, hey.
We needed G-juice.
Yeah, we did. We were out of G-juice, and I called him. I was like, y'all got G-juice? And he's like, yeah, I got some. I was like, we might drive over and get some. And he's like, where y'all at? I was like, sitting over here. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see you. And I was like, hey, I just broke my PB. He's like, what? I mean, it was kind of like distraught and confused at the same time. And I was like, you want to guess what it weighs? And he's like, well, your PB was what, like 8.7? And I said, or 8.2. I think it was 8.2. I said, yeah. He's like, what is it, 8.9? I was like, no. He's like, 9 pounds? Like, no. He's like, are you kidding me? I was like, it's 11 pounder. He's like, shut up. We took it over there. We drove over there and got G-juice because we obviously needed it. And then put it to him. And it's unbelievable to see it, to hold it. I'm bad about saying if I catch a big fish, especially the Rocky Mountain fish, because they're so deformed looking. It's like they're 3 pounds heavier than their age. You know what I mean? So I caught a 10 pounder 2 or 3 times now. And she's like, calm down. Yeah, everything you say the big fish is a 10 pounder. So when I called that one, I was like, well, that's definitely a PB for sure. And I was like, I don't even know if I said, is that a 10 pounder or not, but
that's what he always says. Is that a 10 pounder?
I don't think I did that time because I knew I was going to hear, no, just let me weigh it. And so she hung it on the scale, and I started looking at it. I was like, that's got to be like 8, 9 pounds. It's got to be 9 pounds. And when she hung it on the scale, and like once it registered, it was like she saw a ghost. Her whole face turned white, her eyes were like this big around. And I was like, it's not 9 pounds. And she's like, 9.5. She's like, I said 10. She's like, no. And I was like, what is it? And she said, well, it's bouncing back and forth between like 10.98 and 11 something or something like that. And I was like, that's a freaking 11 pounder. And I freaked. I mean, I lost it. So
now all we gotta do is find her again.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dusty may be hunting after that fish after that. So I'm going to pause for a minute. Folks, I know we've got quite a few folks on here. You've got your time. I'm keeping an eye on the comments. If you got questions for these 2 anglers, make sure put it out there because I'm sure they're going to give an answer to any question asked tonight. So they're in the hot seat right now and probably going to be in the hot seat coming up Saturday more than likely. So at least that's the goal, right?
That's right.
I mean, I'm when I said save the best for last, I want to back up something. I don't know if y'all seen it, and I don't mean to put y'all lower to somebody else, but that last interview I done with Mr. Goodson and his son, I'm rooting for that young man to knock the brakes off of everybody out there.
Oh yeah, and that's what I told Taylor. I was like, yeah, if we lose to them, I would not be upset at all. That would be an awesome experience for him.
Yeah, but I mean, end of the day, I know this. Whoever it's going to be is going to take and receive a great product, ePropulsion with a Navy 6.0, and take aside all the sponsor items, everything else, and you know it, Taylor, firsthand, winning an event like that. What did it mean to you? I know we've talked about it in past interviews, but what did it mean?
It's just, you know, the adrenaline, just everything. It's just the whole, I guess, so many people and the anticipation of everything. And, I mean, going in the weigh-in last year, Dusty and I was like, I don't think it's no winning bag. You know what I mean? If we called them, I mean, yeah, we got 20, but I think nothing, you know. And, you know, the thing is now, every single elite tournament that we fish is like walking into the TEC. It's just every one of them. It's like, if you don't have some ridiculous amount of weight, you know, you're just hoping for the stay up somewhere up there.
I got you.
You know, but so I mean, yeah, it was wild. It was crazy. I mean, Dusty, I think he was more pumped, and I think my back still hurts a little bit from where he slapped me across the back. But you know, I think we went and dumped the fish, and now I think both of us was down there at the boat ramp crying. You know, and I ain't never seen Dusty cry over nothing. So it's all the emotions, everything goes on with it. It's just because of how many people are there, what it means, and that's the way all this is going is getting that way. I mean, every tournament seems that way, you know, and the more big tournaments it's had, you know, the more it's going to feel that way. So the whole sport of electric only fishing is turning into, I think, something that it was never expected to be, which is good for us fishing.
So Jeff Cass is saying, take it easy on a Saturday.
We'd like to think that we're going to take it easy on a lot of people, but I promise you one thing, we're not taking it easy on nobody. We're going full-fledged cutthroat.
Sure.
If I think this is who it is, just make sure if you see Jeff out there, just come behind him and fish behind him, because people catch big fish behind Jeff and David, and you can ask them about that sometime. Joey said, if I pull the plug on your boat Saturday, which one of you can swim to the shore the fastest?
I put an 800 gallon per minute pump at my bilge pump. We don't have no problem.
But you got to answer the question though. Okay, the thought is this: if you had to swim, who's going to outswim who to the shore?
We have a head start because you always. We'll probably be up front of the boat together. So.
Yeah, we'll probably go up front. Yeah, or ain't neither one of us swimming to the shore. Because if that boat goes down, there'll be a lot bigger problems than one of us swimming to the shore. That boat's more than we are.
You'll be like the captain and go down with the boat and drag it up on the shore.
I got to do something because I can't let it all go under.
Oh, so okay. While some more questions are coming in, I want to back up to that big fish. Do you want to give a shout out as far as who you're planning on using for doing the replica mount? Do you have one in particular?
Yeah, I do. I can't think of who it is though.
We have looked at we've really put the time into looking at a bunch of different places and just looking at their work, and something like that you definitely don't want to just settle on. So
Exactly.
And I just don't want to be a fish mounted on a log that hangs on the wall. I mean, I want it to be what it is. And my plan is to have it mounted basically in the brush pile that she was in. I mean, I swear I can almost still see a picture of it on Panoptics, but like a little clump of brush that she was sitting in. Kind of had that with her sitting on the front of the backside of it, one way or the other. That's kind of the plan. So we want it done and done right. Had the guys name a number. A good buddy of mine uses him for everything, and he does outstanding work. So somebody local here to go, Carol Walk.
So I don't know if I've brought this up before in past shows. I've never seen the replica mounts. If they even, I'm sure they do them. I used to always take my fish over to Mickens in Cartersville. Have you ever seen any of their work? So
It's not even realized.
Could have, yeah.
It blows my mind. The first time I ever walked in there, and I don't mean to try to take away from it, but if you're ever in Cartersville, just go by there. The old man, I can't remember. There's a father and son that basically run it. It took me 2 times going there before they finally let me in the back room, and I know why, because they do a lot of exotic mounts, and it is unbelievable. I'm talking like full-on giraffes set as chairs, like body mounts, and then, you know, I took him my bass that was completely freezer burnt, and I've got it hanging up down here in my man cave, and it's unreal at the work that they do. Unreal. So if you haven't checked them out, I mean, I ain't trying to push you. Mason Williams saying the same thing, like he has somebody who can mount it, does amazing work. Message me and I can get you the info. So that's awesome. Jeff Cass was back talking about fishing behind people. He said it does happen like that sometimes.
Yeah.
That's usually how it happens for me. You fish it first, then I fish it.
Yeah, it definitely happens.
So Joey's saying, seriously, you guys are 2 stand-up people, love competing against you. You're both great ambassadors for electric fishing. Good luck to both of y'all. Look forward to Saturday. I couldn't agree with that more.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, we're looking forward to Saturday. We have been going nonstop, so it'll be interesting to see.
I've got a list on my phone of all the tackle we rig up. I mean, really, we're going big or going home, but we don't. I could really care less about weighing in a 12-pound limit. I know that sounds mad, but I mean, if that's what it boils down to, that's what it boils down to. But that's not our goal, especially not here.
If you don't want to answer this, you don't have to. What was the 12-pounder caught on?
I would rather not answer that.
I got you. I was checking.
Yeah. No, I can answer that next week.
I got you.
Maybe. Maybe still not.
So y'all style of fishing, do y'all kind of blend together? One of y'all more of wanting to be a power fisherman, slow fisherman?
I mean, I think now that the weather's getting hotter, we're kind of going to get back to our comfort zone, which is more so offshore. We've been stuck on shore for the last couple months.
No, Chris Payton talked us into going to the shore like 3 weeks ago, and longer than that. Probably all the way back to probably 2 months ago. I won't listen to that guy anymore. Go to the shore; they're up there. No. I have always been the guy. I don't fish in the springtime. I absolutely hate it. So I fish offshore, so I catch pre-spawn and post-spawn during the spawn, and then there's like 2 to 4 weeks where they don't bite, and I just don't go to the lake because I hate it. But as far as that, we're offshore. I mean, I don't even want to see the bait. You know, the further out, the better. She was a big power fisherman, and
I've definitely converted.
We just fish conditions. We fish what we see. I mean, you know, that we can throw a bait at a fish. If the fish runs for it, we literally reel it up and put it on the deck and pick up something different because we know we don't want that. You know what I mean?
So, curiosity, Patricia, jumping in the boat right off the bat, was you already accustomed to throwing bait casters?
No, I wasn't.
Can I tell them the story about the turkey? This thing?
Oh yeah.
So
you gotta say please with it, Tyler.
No, you don't need to say please for this. The very first time we ever fished together, she met me at the lake at the local reservoir, and I had been
Honey hole.
honey hole, and I had been on them so good, and I pulled up on the spot where they were, and I was like, I said, "Have you ever thrown a bait cast before?" And she's like, "No." I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna make one cast right here, and if they're here, well, I'll know on the first cast." And I fired a spoon out there, and they hit it 3 times before it ever hit the bottom. The first fish was like 4 pounds. I was like, "All right, come here." So she came from the back of the boat to the front. I was like, "I don't expect you to cast it. I'll cast it for you." And I said, like, I'll fire it out there. I'm gonna leave you some slack. Just let it flutter. You can kind of feel it, as it flutters down. Lower your line with it, and once you get to the bottom, let me know. So it went to the bottom, and I said, "All right, reel your slack up a little bit." And I was like, "You're gonna feel extremely stupid doing this, but freaking grab it, one hand towards the bottom, one hand on the reel, and just yank it 2 times." And she did that once. It fluttered back to the bottom. She kind of let her line, fall, sling me slack. And the next time she swung, it was another 4-pounder. And I think in like 27 casts, we landed 19 fish that went probably close to 25 pounds.
So I don't know if I've got pictures from it, but I would assume these may be from the same Lake X you talking about, maybe.
Yep, that's Lake X.
Yeah. There's another picture on Facebook of that one. So here's a good story for Dusty. So Dusty and my younger brother bet us. He tried to bet me $100. I'm like, "Dusty, we really just want to go for fun. We don't want to, we're not trying." I mean, you can see how cold it is. We've got on the AFCO hoodies. She's got on an AFCO puffy jacket. I've got on a 6 cents puffy jacket, and then the AFCO bibs on top of that, the high top bibs. It was freezing cold. So Dusty and my younger brother was trying to bet us with Dusty primarily $100 that day, and I was like, "Dusty, I don't want to take your money. Put your money up. Put your money." He's like, "All right, bet 20." I was like, "Okay, whatever. I'll bet 20, but I'm telling you, you don't want to do that." That right there, minus the fish we cut cold, is 28 pounds.
Phew.
Yeah, and that was by 12 o'clock. Yeah, I think we weighed in at 12 o'clock. They weighed theirs. And I said, "Y'all go ahead and weigh yours." And he was like, "Man, we got like 12 pounds." And I think they had about 14. And we pulled all of ours out, put them in the bag, and weighed them. They weighed like 28.4. And my younger brother was like, "That's bull crap. There's no way that's 28 pounds." Okay. We put them all back in the live well and weighed them individually. And it ended up being like 27.87 or 27.89 or something. Right at 28 pounds. And that was hung directly on the scale. That's a sack of fish there.
So I want to point something out, and I may be wrong with this, but if you look at Patricia's face, if we see that same look when you come into weigh-in, that's that like wreck 'em. That's right there. That look. I may be wrong, but that just kind of looks like that.
I think the funniest thing is when I pulled up to get her from the Rocky Mountain Solo Tournament, there's pretty much no service at Rocky, and me and my friend dropped her off that morning. David had his bad wreck that morning, so we went and helped him get his truck flipped back over and his boat hooked back up to the wrecker and all that stuff. And that was, a big event. But he got going. We went shopping till I think y'all fished till 12:30 or something. And she told me about 11 o'clock, 11:30. She said, I got a text from him. It may have even been from Ben because the service is so spotty.
Probably way earlier.
She said like 11:58. And before that, she said, I got 2, and that was super early. So when I went to pick her out, I thought, 11, 12 pounds. I told her it's going to take 15 to win. I said, you're going to win this tournament. It's going to take 15 to win. And I backed the trailer in the water. She loaded the boat up. I said, well, did you finish out your limit? She was like, yeah. I said, well, did you upgrade any? And she said, yeah. And I went, you got any big ones? She said, yeah. And I said, oh, okay. And so we got done and we were headed back. And she said, you told me it was going to take 15 pounds to win. I said, what did it take to win? $14.85. That was pretty funny.
So Richie Goodson's got a question. Which way are y'all going? And I'm assuming he's referring to Saturday.
the way we always go, the way everybody just about goes.
Yeah.
I've told Taylor, I was like, there's about 2/3 of that lake we've probably never even seen, and probably won't because everybody, we do really well on the arm that we go up. A majority of people go up that arm, so I don't know that we'll ever see the other 2/3 of that lake.
Yeah, I'll speak for it myself. I mean, we ventured out in our tournament in March and just wanted to branch away just to do something different away from the crowd. Went through a different arm. We caught loads of numbers, but zero size to them. Zero size. I mean, we probably caught 20 fish, but just nothing.
That one arm, it holds them. So
yes, it does. So Chris was saying this spawn has been crazy this year. I was just trying to help some buddies out. I did see you when you was casting at the bank this year, though.
And we felt so bad because Chris had a primary plan in the elite tournament that we won at Hard Labor. I guess that's been 2.5 months ago. And he had a plan, and he said, I got a backup plan, but it's so-and-so. And I said, well, we may go in there. And he said, well, that's fine. If y'all end up in there, go ahead. I don't think we're going to, but if we need to, that's where we'll be. Well, we fished all the way through that spot, and we turned around and was kind of working our way back out and we'll circle around some fish. And we come out of this one of those spots, and I went, uh-oh. And there him and Aaron said, I was like, that's not good. And then they proceeded to start catching the crap out of them. And she chewed me out because she wasn't ready to leave yet. So.
That is such an exaggeration. That is not how that happened.
So anyway, we turned around and slid on this side of them, and they said, hey, that's fine. Yeah, we're wearing them out here. So I said, well, I know there's some more fish over here. We've seen them when we came through there. We just couldn't get them to bite. We pulled up in this one spot, literally probably the closest I've ever fished to the bank, and we caught a couple, but it wasn't really doing right. We had 18 rods laying on the deck of the boat, and we couldn't get those fish to bite anything. And I reached in the rod locker and pulled out one more rod. There was 3 rods left. We probably had 21 rods with us. And I reached in the rod locker and pulled one rod out, which was a jerk bait. And I don't remember, you might remember, but it was either the first or the second cast I caught our biggest fish. And from then on, it was just game over.
Yeah, that changed the whole day.
It was the dumbest thing. We got so sick and tired of throwing 3-pounders back that she'd holler big and big, and okay, and I was going to go, oh yeah, that's definitely going to help. 3-pounder, no, throw it back. And 302, 320, it's like a crap. It's bad. And I felt terrible because Chris and Aaron was sitting over there, and they needed some 3-pounders, and here we are like, crap, just throwing 3-pounders back.
Yeah, that was a fun day. That was fun fishing.
It was fun. We sat beside Chris and Aaron all day. I mean, I'm talking 30 yards apart. I mean, for probably 11, 12 o'clock on. So yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. We got to talk trash and discuss whatever. Right next to each other. A lot of fun.
So speaking of talking trash, fishing partners typically will rub each other, poke at each other for the duration of the day. I'm curious about something. How many times since y'all been tournament fishing together, Patricia, have you turned to Taylor and been like, I told you so? Maybe those moments of, we should have done this, should have done that. Has there been those moments?
Yeah, there has. Yeah. There has. And it's on both ways.
But they're very few and far between. I mean,
we try to. The only problem we really have in that boat is she chooses not to wear her glasses or her contacts. So we spend more time.
That's nobody's business.
Getting her daggone
don't even
out of the tree.
Full of
I literally, she'll make 3 casts throughout the day, or first thing up morning, they'll be up there in the bushes or up in the woods. I'm like, you got your contacts in? No. Well,
that does not happen that often, but it does happen sometimes. But you're just as bad. The last time we fished, he's the one that was in the tree. I didn't even get stuck in the tree last time.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. No, we run everything by each other. I mean, we make mistakes. I mean, both of us. and we'll talk back and forth on what may or may not help us. I mean, the tournament we just had at Black Shoals,
Go ahead.
we kind of made a right decision and made a wrong decision. She wanted to go up one creek. Chris told us later in the day there was 26 pounds of bass on bed up that creek, and there was nobody in it. And we could have went right up there and maybe we would have caught them, but instead I went back to the place that we sat all day, and we upgraded from like a 118 to a 2.5, so and caught a whole bunch more fish. Who knows what they could have been, but they were all, we only upgraded once, but it was still enough to bump us up to 6th place, I think. So
yeah, no, I mean, I think we discussed it and we made the right call. I mean, there would have been no way for us to know that was there. And if there wouldn't have been, we would have just wasted time. So we went back to what we knew. And it just, I mean.
With the elites, you got to play it safe. You can't, with some of the smaller clubs and like with this event, you can go big and go home. There's room to be made up. With a lot of clubs, the way their point systems fall, if you have a bad tournament, you can make it up. We had one bad tournament and went from tied for first to tied for third at just one. And it wasn't like we got beat by 10 or 12 pounds. We literally, I think 4th place or 3rd place was like 7 some of those hickory log, which is just the main river. So you have to play safe a lot. It almost reminds me back to playing golf. If you were having a tough time, instead of taking that shot that you might make, but you might not, there's a 50-50 chance, you're better off laying up and playing it safe than you are doing it the other way. Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna do
that. So don't forget that coffee.
I did that one time at hard labor the day I caught my 11-pounder, and I promise you I will never do it again.
Gotcha. You coffee drinker, Taylor?
Sometimes on the weekend, I'm strictly Red Bull and protein bars. That's how I get through the day.
What about you, Patricia? What's your coffee of choice?
Well, right now I'm drinking primarily Black Rifle because we get it. They're a sponsor of the elites. So every tournament we get 2 bags, and that might be my favorite part.
She takes the 2 bags, which I will drink it. Like Sunday mornings when I take her to the solo tournaments, and if we're just goofing around here, yeah, the Black Rifle is the cat.
Yeah.
I think one of them's like the American blend or something, which is like
the Freedom Blend.
The Freedom Blend.
That might be one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's good and smooth and just easy to drink. The calf, we've been drinking the calf. It's like high caffeinated. That Black Rifle is fire.
It's really good.
So I like coffee, but on tournament days, it's Red Bull and protein bars. That's about it.
So y'all brought up something you kind of touched in it. Black Shoals. Was that the first time y'all have ever been down there fishing it this year?
I fished it. Well, that wasn't this year, was it? Was that December?
Was it January? No, it was January. She went and fished it with David Ruart, Scott Edwards' partner. He wanted to learn a little bit about panoptics, and he had just gotten on the boat, and I had something to do that weekend, so I was like, yeah, I'll send Patricia down there. She can show you. So she drove down there, and they fished together, and that High Voltage had 33 boats that day, and they finished 10th, which, I mean, she was pretty bummed about, but I was like, holy crap, that's actually, it's the first time she had ever seen the lake ever before.
So this is what I was kind of going to ask about it, just for curiosity, because I would imagine there's a lot more time that both y'all being a couple together and being at home together a lot, y'all probably have a lot more, conversations to how you're going to approach a lake, right? Y'all sit down in the middle of the night, laying down like it hits you, let's go do this, or how do y'all approach it usually? New place.
We have a lot of time to kind of discuss and pick apart and look at maps together. And like you said, something hits you, like, oh, I thought about this. Or, I mean, we do have a lot more time to kind of strategize together.
Yeah, I do. Believe me, I talk until her ears are probably bleeding. But I mean, I gotta talk it through and constantly. I mean,
usually by the time it's on the way to tournament morning, I'm like, Taylor, please shut it. Like, there, we're good. That's what we're gonna do. We can't talk about it anymore.
And usually it's your gut in the beginning, right?
Oh yeah.
So okay, take away Panoptics, take that out of the equation. What would be y'all's number one benefit? What's something that helps y'all excel for breaking a lake apart?
I mean, it's electronics. That's fishing today. That's really all it is. I mean, if you don't have Panoptics, you're going to run side imaging, sonar, and down imaging. I mean, that's the only way to break a lake down at this point. I mean, here, when was that? I can't remember, but I guess here a few months ago, I was going to run to the lake. I think it's before we went on Fish North Georgia that night, or you did, one of the two. And I was like, I hadn't been to the lake in like 5 or 6 days. I'm like, I've got to go. And I ran home, hooked up the boat, took off, and ran to the lake. I mean, it's like 35 minutes from here, and we had enough time to fish for like an hour and 10 minutes. And I got all the way to the lake, and I turned around, and the graphs were supposed to be in the back seat. They were not in the back seat. And you get so used to fishing that way that, I mean, I knew where the fish were. I knew what I could throw and what I could catch them on. And I did catch. I think I caught 4 fish in about an hour, 55 minutes. One of them was about a 4-pounder, but it didn't matter because I literally would catch myself looking out across the lake, knowing where I was, and I would turn the trolling motor that direction and look down. There was nothing to see because obviously the grass weren't there. But yeah, I mean, you take Panoptics play, I would do the same exact thing, but I would do it with side imaging, sonar, down imaging, and waypoints, and you wouldn't see the fish you were throwing at, but you would see the waypoints you had marked that either were fish, brush piles with fish in them, or whatever. I mean, that's the future of fishing. That's really all that matters.
Well, I think a big advantage of the Panoptics, we're going to where we think they should be anyway, or from what we think they'll be biting anyway. But if they're not there, I mean, you get a better idea much quicker if they're there or not, and you can move on to, what you should switch to next or where we should go to next. I mean, the basics are still there. It's just
we rig our tackle for the time of year and the conditions, and that's primary. Secondaries, we go to the places where the fish do here, and I mean, I've literally pulled up on the spot. We pulled up, scan around, say it's a point or whatever. And we'll pull it, start 25, 30 foot of water. We'll look, let's keep driving. Look, keep driving. Just look 180 degrees, because everything behind us, we've already driven over. And until we see fish or we don't see fish, motor comes back up, turn the elko on, and we're running back across the lake. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I think Jeff Reese asked me when we first installed his, he said, "You really trust that thing that much?" And I said, what is there to trust? There's fish there or there's not fish there. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, if they're either there or they ain't. So they're casting. If they run from your bait, try another bait. If they run from that, I'm going to go find some more fish.
That is awesome. Well, I wish y'all both, in all honesty, the best going into this tournament this Saturday. But I am going to do something that has never really been done on the TEC. So I've got something for y'all. Okay? Y'all bracing yourself? Okay.
What's up, second?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I'm trying to take mine out of the screen. Let's see here if I can do this. And it ain't gonna let me. So I wanted to bring in the other half to the previous TEC champion to kind of, I mean, Dusty, you can feel free to.
And the future half.
Hey, man, this is what I told him earlier. We was on the phone, and I said, look, man, this house don't go. I know we've been joking around playing all week and everything. I said, we already know Trish and I are going to win it. There's no question about it. That's easy for you. You can have second. I know you've been wanting a power pole. You can have second. And I heard some guy, I don't know if y'all know him or not, Chris Gaycon or something like that, was going to try to squeeze into third. I don't know if he's going to make it or not, but that's his plan.
Me and Chris been messaging already. We're working up teaming against you.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what's funny? When you said that about Chris has already messaged this on here saying how it's getting deep in here.
If Taylor's involved, it's always getting deep.
Hey man, if you ain't messing around, you ain't doing nothing.
They were getting on to us earlier in the group text.
They started a group text for all of the teams from Xtreme that made it. And I'm working, and my phone is just blowing up. Everybody's going back and forth. I'm pretty sure we created this to boost the morale within the Xtreme team, not for everybody to just go at each other.
Well, it was really just me and Dusty.
You have to do that on your own. You don't have to do that in the group.
We can do it wherever we are.
I know that.
So it sounds like Patricia shares the same way as me. I mean, I sometimes send group messaging, but man, I wished I could be left out of them a lot of times.
And then he messaged before we got on here, hey, we're going to be on in a couple of minutes. Y'all come watch. And here it goes again.
I think I said what I say. Nobody wants to watch second.
Yeah. That's why I told you shouldn't even come.
Oh man. I like all of y'all. I really do. I like all the anglers competing in the event, everybody. But I mean, you know this. If Dusty does take him and beat y'all out there, I would say that's probably that grin Dusty's going to have on his face. If he was shaking during that event last year, could you only imagine?
I'll tell you what, y'all line us up both at the end of the line.
End of the line.
Put both of us in the line. We won't know what to do.
Yeah. If I ain't got nothing, I'm gonna go first and go home. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry all the way there too.
Now y'all ain't gonna. Okay, I'm gonna ask this. Y'all ain't gonna tell each other what you got on the water, are you?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. No one does.
I know y'all are extreme together and stuff. I get that.
There's not many secrets.
I just told him to stay off our spot unless he wants to hear that 380 she carries with her ring.
Well, just that way you know, and everybody out there, not only y'all, but all the other TEC folks competing in it, we have a 100-foot rule unless, keyword, mutually agreed upon.
Yeah. I'm going to go right here on live television and say I do not agree. No, Chris or Dustin get within 100 foot. I'm calling America.
We're bringing the rangefinder.
You keep it up. You can catch some hands, son.
Well, I will say this, okay, and I apologize to Jeff on this in advance, but Jeff is going to be out there on the water. So and he's going to be taking photographs. So if you want some photographic evidence of someone embarking on your 100-foot rule, that would be some good evidence to bring back.
I'll say this much. If you see Dusty and Becky's over there and we're bumping boats on the same spot, you might want to be worried about us at least.
See Taylor and Dusty smacking each other with their poles.
Yeah. If you see the two of us sitting on the same spot, something good has done gone down, at least for two of us.
So talking some more smack here.
I'll bring the pool noodle.
Chris is saying, sweet see y'all at the hole. How do people know about this hole?
Everybody knows about this hole.
Yeah.
Half the people watched it last year.
If I hadn't had to drive around to everybody else, I would have probably seen the showdown for sure. But all joking aside, I mean, I wish both of y'all, Patricia, Taylor, best of luck going to the event. Dusty, you've got a couple of people that's pulling for you, bud.
Yeah, I don't have big fan base. It's very small, but that's all I need. You know,
It's quality.
I'm kind of like I'm like Ricky Bobby. You know, at the very end of the movie where he puts the sponsors me. You know, I got this.
I got you. So, Joey Moore saying he'll bring the popcorn for everybody. You know, maybe that's what we should do is have a popcorn stand set up at the event out there for everybody.
I'm still eating it all.
Do what?
I'll bring some snacks. I'll leave some of it.
So I do want to bring this up. Oh, I didn't see that comment posted in there. Seriously, best of luck to everyone, Chris was saying. So talking about the 100-foot rule, and no joke on this live, it'd probably be best to discuss this a little bit. And I don't mean this between y'all, so don't take it this way, but if it is a good topic that everybody needs to know, if there is an infraction while being on the water as far as the 100-foot rule, by all means, you can call me, shoot me a message through Messenger, or if evidence is everything, you know, if grabbing your cell phone, taking a photograph, I don't believe the anglers we got would you know, embark in something that tight, you know what I mean, unless it's mutually agreed upon. We've got a great group of guys and gals that's competing in it. So, but at least kind of want to throw that out there.
I think Dusty and I only had to ask one boat to leave last year.
And they weren't fishing the TEC.
Oh, they weren't fishing the TEC.
It was 3 grown men in a little bitty John boat. And literally, they come down the bank. They seen us catching them. And within 5 minutes, they were sitting on top of the fish we were throwing at. And I looked at Taylor. I said, I'm about to say something. He goes, I'm not about to. I am. Hey, we're fishing in a tournament here. Can you back up? The guys said, oh, yeah, we're sorry. And they left for us. They were nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to be as nice and polite as you can be, but at the same time, I said, hey, look, we're fishing a state championship. If y'all don't mind, get off this spot and move on somewhere else. There's plenty of fish in this lake. And I was like, oh, yeah, sorry, they moved on. You know, but it's like some people in etiquette don't really have it.
So Mason saying good luck to you, Dusty.
Thank you, sir.
You're going to need it.
I'll take all the luck I can get. This is fishing.
I'm going to give Dusty here the last little bit, and I'm going to cut Dusty out of the frame and finish up with both y'all, Patricia and Taylor. Dusty, do you have any final comments, remarks to say to this other half and better half of reigning TEC champion?
Good luck on Saturday. May the best boat win. Just leave your feelings in the truck, sir.
Man, I done told you forgot hanging with me.
Hey, she'll probably catch big fish at the tournament, but I'm gonna get first. You know, big fish doesn't always win the tournament.
Just do this, Dusty. When Patricia catches big fish, don't go over and slap her shoulder, okay?
I'll leave. I'm scared of Patricia. She's pretty mean.
But hey, Dusty, appreciate you coming on tonight, bud.
I appreciate the invite. Thank y'all.
See you.
See you, buddy.
Taylor, Patricia, appreciate y'all both tonight. I was wanting to try to figure out a way to incorporate Dusty into this as well, because it is tough to separate through with y'all. But now moving forward, I believe you've got a definite better half moving forward for fishing, and wish y'all best out there on this Saturday. Stay cool, keep a bunch of water in there, and hopefully you'll come in with some big fish for the tournament.
You're hoping so. It should be a good day.
Go big, go home.
That's right. So, fans, I appreciate each and every one of y'all tuning in tonight. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off as far as the comments. So, Patricia, Taylor, we'll see y'all bright and early Saturday morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Thank y'all for taking time tonight.
Yeah.
See y'all. All right, folks. That is half reigning champion and the better half for Patricia and Taylor Smith. That is competing this Saturday in the ePropulsion TEC event. So I want to take a moment to, I've had a couple of comments from folks, pause for a moment just to let y'all know. People have been asking about what time to kind of arrive. I've got a post that's actually going to go out. You'll see it later this week. I don't remember what day I've got it scheduled for, but I've got it all scheduled out. That'll give a timeline as far as arrival. Safe flights blast off, weigh-ins 3 o'clock. We was kind of waiting, depicting on what the weather was going to do. We're going to have some vendors, some booths set up there at the event. If all goes in plans as planned and the weather holds out well enough for us, we're actually going to open up for the general public. So mark your calendars, starting around 10 a.m. Hopefully we'll have everything set up by then. That's the goal. We'll be open up to the public. You can come through, walk through all the vendors, see the different products that's going to be there representing the ePropulsion TEC. I'm so pumped up. The time frame is going to be on there, posted for all you anglers wondering about safe flight. It should be, from what I've seen, nautical twilight, kind of around the 5:58, 6 o'clock range, depending on clouds. So I think I've put it there depending on the gate being open, whether or not it may or may not be open. So another post is going to be scheduled. The fire station out there, I don't know if they've started utilizing access into it, but make sure, folks, the post is scheduled. If the gate is locked, whenever we arrive, when you line up and start parking at the gate, do not block, please do not block the fire station. That entrance and exit, we got to make sure to keep that entry point and exit point for the fire station site open at all times. Same way as the gate. Try to leave a lane so that way folks can get through there if need be. So go through our sponsors. We appreciate each and every one of them. Tonight, our Hooked Up Live, that's it, folks. It is a wrap for the 2021 season. I appreciate each and every one of y'all tuning in to us. And guess what? It's already fixing to start back up again. 2022 is going to be right here before we know it. A lot of great announcements to come for the future of the Total Electric Championship through with ePropulsion. So make sure, folks, get on there, like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a lot more great stuff that's happening here at the Total Electric Championship. So appreciate each and every one of you watching. And that is it. That is a wrap. We will see you all Saturday, 10 a.m. if you want to come down there and watch it. The weigh-in's at 3 o'clock, but if you want to come walk through our vendors, 10 o'clock, probably till about 2 o'clock, there'll be folks there that'll take and walk you through and show you some great products. So that's it. Appreciate y'all tuning in. See y'all.